Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader on his feet, you never ask him a question.
Yes,
this is becoming one too many. I won't accept this. You allowed him to speak. When it gets to us, then you start asking questions. Why didn't you interrupt him? Mr. Speaker, don't do this.
Which question
Mr.
did I ask you?
Don't do this. Whenever they are
Minority Leader, which question did I ask you? Which question did I ask you?
Mr. Speaker, I never interrupted him. When he was on his
feet, which question did I ask you?
Mr. Speaker, when he was on his feet,
Minority Leader,
not a word came from you.
Honorable Minority Leader, you can have a disagreement with what he, the Deputy Finance Minister, is saying.
Baby, the power of my gun a Parliament House. I Parliament House, they say, Nigerian now, because the entire makers and say, the Silver Parliament House, Speaker of Parliament, on you. Afenyo Markin cried any agents and the title Mahama Ayariga. Bomb or two, a Parliament demand a MPP for no. Ministers, MPP ministers now, a guano, title Pani Afenyo Markin. Now, I don't know Afenyo Markin was the Debbie. Oh, yeah, Mahama Ayariga. Any Speaker of Parliament is in my form. And I know what was here shouting, Speaker of Parliament, no. Obiano was my friend, let me talk. Speaker of Parliament, let me talk. Afenyo Markin, no. Because Nipple in the media also cassette, or not Afenyo Markin to say, dear Mahama Ayariga, acting in the media so. And no cassette to say, no, a honor, I didn't know more people before, no. I can't say, not NDC for ministers, MPs or no. Bogu, your margin channel, have been part. I don't know how can a Speaker of Parliament to be channel. See the way Speaker of Parliament said, one can do not or no, Afenyo Markin, and children being kind of become. And my people will be as so. Emma Mahama, Ayariga sounds sorry, to 2 billion money Afenyo Markin. Your moral Parliament House near ready, of course, wouldn't be Emra.
That is one.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader on his feet, you never ask him a question.
Yes,
this is becoming one too many. I won't accept this. You allowed him to speak. When it gets to us, then you start asking questions. Why didn't you interrupt him? Mr. Speaker, don't do this.
Which question
Mr.
did I ask you?
Don't do this. Whenever they are
Minority Leader, which question did I ask you? Which question did I ask you?
Mr. Speaker, I never interrupted him. When he was on his
feet, which question did I ask you?
Mr. Speaker, when he was on his feet,
Minority Leader,
not a word came from you.
Honorable Minority Leader, you can have a disagreement with what he, the Deputy Finance Minister, is saying. You have the opportunity to debate. You have indicated that if the revenue was increased, it's because they have increased the tariff. If in his opinion that is prudent, that he is entitled to it. So that cannot amount to misleading the House. So, Honorable Minority Leader, you have the opportunity. You can disagree with him, but your disagreement with what he is saying will not amount to a point of order within the meaning of the rules.
Mr. Speaker, you have made a good call. Earlier, you ruled, and upon ruling, I resume my seat. You, however, granted the space for the majority leader to come in to now ask me a specific question. Mr. Speaker, he asked me a question on procedure. You allowed him to flow until he finished. Mr. Speaker, you can hear him, you see? Now, you gave me the opportunity to respond to him because I had yielded to your ruling. But because you gave him the opportunity to ask me a direct question on order 122 and 123, it was therefore important to come back to explain to him the mainstay of my argument. So, Mr. Speaker, if you are keeping to your ruling, I will yield because, Mr. Speaker, if you rule, that is the order.
Yes,
but
that
Mr.
is
Speaker,
exactly what I'm trying to do.
Mr. Speaker, again, the rule on fairness also requires that both sides must be treated fairly. Mr. Speaker, if you have ruled on my matter, then what was the basis for he coming back as if he is a presiding officer? Mr. Speaker, he came back really reading the same rules again and going on to say that I should answer. These were his words. And you asked that Honorable Minority Leader respond. That is why I was responding. So, Mr. Speaker, if this is your ruling, so be it. I take it.
Very well.
Thank you so much.
Very well. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Deputy Minister, conclude.
Mr. Speaker, in Akan, when a leader leads an army to war and he returns victorious,
Honorable, you have 1 minute more.
Osahene. But when the leader goes to war with a contingent of 137 and returns with only 78, he is referred to as Osakwa. Mr. Speaker,
what is the meaning?
I was on the point.
What is the meaning?
Easy, a slave to war. Mr. Speaker, I was making the point that the energy sector is now being prudently managed. And coincidentally, the energy minister has just walked in. Mr. Speaker, he was questioning the prudence that I was talking about. And Mr. Speaker, the prudence is where ECG today is not procuring things that they don't need.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, your time is up. I will proceed to give the floor to Honorable Isaac Guama Nyako. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement read by the Finance Minister with regards to the 2026 budget statement. Mr. Speaker, let me commence by speaking to one or two of the issues raised by the Deputy Finance Minister. Unfortunately, the Deputy Finance Minister, for the past 15 minutes, never commented on the budget that he himself has supported in presenting to the House. He only came in to comment on remarks that have been passed by the minority, to which he thinks he disagreed. That tells us as a House that the budget that was presented by the Finance Minister is not fit for purpose and lacks substance. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget is a run-off to the 2025 budget. And so the 2025 budget, it will entitle us to interrogate and find out what were the issues that were promised in 2025 and what had been the government's performance in 2025 before we can even have something to comment on the 2026 budget. Because as the Finance Minister said, why would you say that an allocation for 30 billion BPUS is a bad budget? Why would you say 825 million to construct 1,000 kilometers of agri roads are a bad budget? Why would you say 100 million for aquaculture is a bad budget? Allocation is not release. So the same way you allocated in 2025, allocation for women's banking, 50 million, it never came to pass. Allocation for coders, 50 million, it never came to pass. It is for the same reason why we cannot trust the allocations in the 2026 budget. Because if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. Mr. Speaker, let's go into the 2025 budget as was presented and it's being looked at. At page 151, Appendix 1, yes, 151, Appendix 1C. It talks about the general performance, the growth performance of government between 2025 and 2026.
That is 2025 budget.
No, 2026. I'm referring to
2026 budget.
That is so.
Okay, but you said 2025. That is what I mean.
No, 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, the theme of the budget itself is talking about resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Yet, when you look at the budget itself, there is very little that speaks into promoting growth, promoting jobs, and bringing transformation. I'm saying this in the context of industry because the employment situation in this country is hinged on how well government is resourcing industry and the service sector for growth. In page 151 under industry, the industry in 2024 grew by 7.1%. However, in 2025, it grew by 3.6%, a whopping decline of 100% in terms of growth in the industry. If you go under industry, Mr. Speaker, the major areas that propel growth under industry is manufacturing and then construction. If you go under manufacturing, the industry in 2024 grew by 19.1%. The industry in manufacturing grew by 3.9% in 2024. And it is just growing according to government at 4.0, which is flat. When you go to construction, in 2024, it grew by 9.6% in 2024. But in 2025, it grew by 2.9%. Mr. Speaker, 9.6% to 2.9%. And these are the areas that the Ghanaian people are seeking for employment. These are the areas that affect the growth and development of the youth. However, you are dealing with all the macroeconomic indicators. Interest rate has fallen, all of the CD depreciation. But where is it hitting the pockets of the unemployed youth in this country? Mr. Speaker, go to service industry. The minister said service industry is growing by 6.4% in 2025 as against 5.4%. But check the detail of the service industry. The detail when you take trade, repair of vehicles and household. This is what the Aboso kind people want to see growth so that they can employ people. 2024, it grew by 3.6. 2025 is growing by 3.1, a decline. Hotels and restaurants, where Ghanaian industries are looking at creating jobs. In 2024, it grew by 4.8%. In 2025, it's growing by 3.5%, a decline in the growth of it. Mr. Speaker, go to transport and storage. In 2024, 5.8%. In 2025, 3.5%. The entire areas of growth that will propel employment for the youth are all on a decline. So what is the government telling us when it comes to employment? You are saying that you are going to employ over 800,000 people. However, in 2025, you couldn't tell Ghanaians the number of jobs that you have created. Mr. Speaker, let me move into the revenue situation. In the revenue situation, if you check the government, revenue has fallen from 189 billion to 186 billion. This, if you check the indirect tax, it has also fallen. So government doesn't even have the revenue to grow this economy. In 2026, government is still projecting higher revenue, yet it has not put in place strategies to collect revenue to grow the economy. Mr. Speaker, check the tax refund. Government reduced it from 6% to 4%, yet the refund for the year 2025 and 2026 under page 154. If you go into the refund, it is all on a decline. Check the refund position. And so, Mr. Speaker, there is very little that gives hope to employment for the youth of this country. Speaker, the VAT reform that the minister talked about, consolidating VAT to 20% from 21.9% that he talked about. The real estate sector is supposed to be charged a whopping 20% of tax out of 5% that they were paying under real estate. And so housing deficit is going to increase in this country, and the real estate is going to collapse under this government. Mr. Speaker, let me move on to the energy sector, where my good brother John Jinapo is here. Page 118, paragraph 900 of the budget. He's saying that Ghana's oil production has witnessed consistent decline over the years, falling from 71 million barrels in 2019 to 36 million in 2025, almost 50 million decline. That is our budget talking to us. Yet there is no strategic direction in improving or increasing our petroleum sector. Yesterday, the minister brought out Springfield, that they are taking away indigenous Ghanaian companies from the energy sector upstream. I'm asking the minister, when did they go into taking the foreign entities and now they are going into Ghanaian companies to take it? In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the 2026 budget doesn't provide hope for the teeming youth of this country. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues on the other side should tell me, in the year 2025, how many people have you employed in your constituencies? Tell me, in the year 20, all of you are chasing for jobs. You can't find them. Even in the military, when they were doing recruitment, over 80,000 applied, and then 6 had to perish because of your mismanagement and the way you are doing the recruitment at the military sector. And so, Mr. Speaker, I am saying that the youth want credible opportunities for job creation. It is not just about the macroeconomic indicators. It is about strategic thinking in promoting economic activities. And I am saying that the productive sectors of this economy has not been touched. Government only promises with allocation. They don't give releases. Ministries, departments, and agencies have not gotten what they require even to grow their ministries. And that is why all of us sitting in this chamber, we can talk about the macro indices, but we are looking at ourselves miserable. My communities are poor. The economy is looking macroeconomic right, but our pockets are dry. Mr. Speaker, the minister has to check on it. I thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, permit me to acknowledge the presence of food science and technology from the northern region, specifically Sanaregu. They are led by Sam, lecturer, and they are from Sanaregu municipality. The number 73. Our members, we also have UPSA, led by Richard Yao Fiajo. Group leader, they are in Medina, the number 56. On your behalf, I welcome all of them. May you have a fruitful stay. Honourable members at Conclave, we agreed to take 30 minutes break, and this is the point to take the said 30 minutes break. Honourable members, my time is 3:26. We are coming back exactly at 4 o'clock. So accordingly, the House is temporarily suspended.
Again, some poor on in some church, any a full summer course of parliament, he said, you can be mammy cabin, a year more, and will be a channel. They say, I beg you now, Afenyo Markin, and Mahama Ayariga, and the Speaker of Parliament, Sally Pami and son, and I say Parliament House, and Tokwane Chester, Chinian, I beg you know, so I have. Hey, you this TV to make us say, must subscribe to our channel. We don't comment, say the bar. I know you reply, yes, if I tell you, you're Baby Sumina, Edina Kalala, Macramina.